Hey, how you doing? Yeah, you could definitely end up where your coworker gets arrested. I can tell you one story about that. In somewhere in the late 80s, I was working at a power plant where they were just starting to build that facility. So a lot of this stuff was under construction. They didn't have all the machinery in. The gas turbines were gonna be placed, but they still weren't. And then that was going to generate heat to make some steam so we could run it through a couple of steam turbine engines to produce power. Well, I got hired there early on, and the construction was just in the beginning. So they were still hiring people a month and a half or so into the construction part. So me and a couple of other guys had already been there for, a month, over a month and a half. And this one guy was just being hired. Let's say his name was Jim or something. So he shows up in that morning. Everything seems fine. He was maybe a little bit quiet compared to some people, but no big deal. A lot of people are. So he's working with me during the day and trying to get the hang of things. Like I said, it was construction and it was still really early on. So I was just starting to show him some of this stuff, basics, with the turbines and the control panels and stuff like that. And I had a notebook. This was back in the time where everybody kept notebooks and stuff, well before we were into keeping everything on computers and stuff like that. So I told him, get yourself a notebook. And I said, start collecting all of the technical documents that you can because you're going to need them. Just because this isn't everyday stuff, you need to know how this stuff works. So at one point during the day, I guess it might have been right after lunch, I was going over some documents and stuff with him about how this one piece of equipment worked. And I had like maybe 5 or 6 pages in this notebook. And I told him, yeah, you're going to need this. So I opened up the notebook and took them out. And I said, go make copies of this document here because you're definitely going to need it. And get some holes punched in it so that you can put it in your notebook. And I told him, we don't have any offices or anything yet. It's all early on in construction. All right, no problem. There's a construction trailer out in the gravel parking lot where a lot of the other firms that were doing contracting work and stuff had set up. And they had a pretty well-equipped office area. They had the Xerox machine there, and they had all the hole punchers that you need, and they had staplers and stuff. We didn't have that in any of the area we were working in yet because it wasn't set up. So I told him, go over there to that construction trailer. They don't mind if you go in there, use their copy machine, punch some holes in that document there and put it in your notebook. And of course, bring me back my original one. So off he goes. And like I said, this is just around the time of after lunch. So I expect, oh, he'll be back in 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, no big deal. There's about a dozen of us working in here, and I'm going around talking to the other guys and seeing how things are progressing and stuff like that, see if they got any trouble, they need anything. Okay, fine. Well, Jim doesn't come back. And it's getting to be like a half hour now, and I'm like, where the hell did he go? He was just going to copy some stuff, punch a couple holes in there, and bring it back. All right. So I don't pay too much attention to it. I'm like, all right, whatever, he'll come back. So we're working, and it's getting to be more into the afternoon. So it's like getting to be 2 or 3 o'clock. And I look around, still no Jim. I'm like, I better walk out there and find out what's going on. So I got to the construction trailer that I had sent him to. And I'm like, I said to them guys, hey, did you see the new guy out here? He was going to copy some papers and punch some holes and stuff. And they were like, I don't know. We've seen a couple of guys, but yeah, 1 or 2 look new, but there's a lot of new people around here. So I'm thinking, okay, he didn't run into any trouble or anything out there because nobody noticed anything. Okay, whatever. So I go back into the main plant there, and I'm working for a while, and it gets to be quitting time. Still no Jim. I asked the other guys in the building, the main building, have you seen the new guy lately? No, they haven't seen him either. All right. I don't know where he went. Fine. It's not my problem, officially. Okay. Maybe something happened. I don't know. So it gets to be quitting time, and we all head out. I don't think too much of it. The next morning, I come into work, and everybody's chattering and talking about the new guy, Jim. And I'm going, well, what the hell happened, And they said, did you watch the 6 o'clock news? No. I don't normally make a habit out of watching the 6 o'clock news. And they said, well, he was on there. He was on there because at his apartment, he was having a standoff with a rifle with the police. So 3 or 4 police cops and everything had shown up because there was some disturbance. And I guess Jim decided to get out a rifle and start shooting at the police. Okay. Needless to say, they arrested him, and Jim never showed up for work again because the company immediately just fired him. I'm not sure if he ever ended up going to jail or prison or anything else. And I never did get the story about why. All right. Somewhere between the time I told him to get the papers Xeroxed and get holes punched in them and the time of the 6 o'clock news, he must have just left work and had a problem with the police. Okay. I guess you just never know. But needless to say, Jim didn't work there anymore, and then we continued to hire new people. Well, as the new people kept coming in, they were working with me too. And so I was helping them learn the equipment and everything else. And then, of course, the standing joke was, hey, whatever you do, don't tell the new guy to use the 3-hole punch out there at the construction trailer, because you know what happened the last time. Maybe sometimes it only takes a 3-hole punch to set somebody off. I'm not sure. I never got the whole story. But it definitely can happen. It happened to me. So until the next time, take care of yourself, and I'll see you later.